Hello, everybody. How is it going? Welcome to Cantina Cocktail Hour. It's great to see all these names that are in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see who is here so far. Out of the basement, how are you doing? It's great to see you, Brittany. Hey, welcome back. Happy Cantina Black Widow Day. Yes, indeed. GA, hey, it's good to see you. Hey, Adrian, how are you doing? Thaddeus, good to see you too. Let's see who else we got here. We have lots of folks here having a good conversation. I almost feel like I don't want to interrupt the conversation. Really don't want to interrupt the conversation. Looking really good here. Mary, it's good to see you too. Smugglers Canyon, how are you doing? Yeah, awesome. Awesome. We have a lot to talk about. So it looks like our friend is getting in here right now. I'll go ahead and add him into the stream, and then we'll go ahead and get to our conversation. So let me go ahead and add him in here. All right. Okay. So thanks everybody who has joined into this stream. We were having some tech issues, but looks like all that's resolved now. So awesome. We'll go ahead and let's go ahead and bring Steve in here. So all right. Steve. There he is. There we go. I think you're muted, my friend. Let's see who else is in here. So that's One Smooth Chin. Who are you referring to? That's One Smooth Chin. I have no clue. Is dude out with his smoker again?
You hear me?
I have no idea. Now we can hear you. How are you doing?
I did it. Yes, I'm good. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh, look, your clone is here too.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you can take that off. I just use it so I can look at you because I have my cell phone up here.
Nice. I was gonna be like,
because this camera is slightly better up. You know, the backwards facing camera is better, so I try to use that one.
Nice. I thought there were two of you for a second, and I was gonna be like, which one is you?
I've been cloned.
Yeah. So hey, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining in here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is great. I just came in hot from a work trip, so I threw on the smoker and ate some chicken and took a shower and poured a beverage, and now I get to hang out for a little bit. So yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you're drinking this evening.
So all right, so this is not like my normal drink, but like I'm very drained. Like it wasn't a bad week or trip, but it was a lot. You know, you ever have those where it's just a lot and intense, and it just sucks your life force. You know what I mean? So I made green tea. I put honey in it, and then 4 shots of Captain Morgan, and then 1 shot of marshmallow vodka. So it's different, but have you ever had like one of the tea cookies in Epcot at Disney World? It's like that with like a marshmallow topping almost, done very poorly, but it kind of is in the spirit of that cookie. So it just felt rejuvenating. You know what I mean? So this was my beverage.
Nice.
What's yours?
That sounds good. So over here on my end, I actually have an old fashioned. You know, I'm a big fan of just classic, 100-year-old drinks, basically. I think I'm from another time period. Genuinely, I've often thought that about myself. So this is an old fashioned. This is a bourbon-based drink. So it has bourbon. It has traditionally you would use a sugar cube and then muddle that with water before you have the bourbon, or you can use simple syrup. You know, if you want to do it a little more easy, and that's what I did. And then you mix with ice, and then you garnish with an orange twist. So this is an old fashioned. It's very tasty. It's a potent drink. It's definitely a potent drink. So if you want to copy this, just do it sparingly because it is strong. So
I have been abused by whiskey and bourbon in my lifetime.
Absolutely. But no, I'm happy to do this. So, I'll raise my drink and cheers, Steve.
Oh, sorry. Of course, I went to fix my light as soon as you did that. I'm the worst.
Cheers.
Cheers. I am about, a third in, just so you know. But little pregame.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no
cheers to you.
worries. Thank you, thank you. No, this is yeah. So we've been talking about doing this for a little bit now, and I'm
Yeah,
glad that we found the opportunity. We were on together on you guys' show earlier this year. When was that? Was that like January or February? It was a while
I
back.
think so. That era of life, I think, all blurs together, doesn't it? Like
Yeah,
that period, the blurred teeth, the blurguary is kind of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that
So,
was so cool of you to come on because I mean we still don't know what we're doing on Three Men and a Monkey Lizard, but like we really didn't know that you were one of the first people that ever came on. So that was really cool of you to come and hang out with us, and
that was fun.
that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
It was.
it's unique that we have a monkey lizard as part of a live stream.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, we're Star Wars fans, right? So
Exactly.
we see all kinds of interesting things. Um, yeah. So no, this is going to be fun. Um, but yeah, you're right. So I want to talk a little bit about something because I don't think I've had a single guest on this show that has had, other than myself, has come down with COVID-19. And I know that you had COVID-19 earlier
I
this year.
did.
So
I
I kind
did.
of thought that'd be a good little thing to kind of talk about just a little bit. Um, I mean, I followed you on Twitter when this was going on, and I
Yeah.
know I messaged you and we talked a bit about it then. But how are you doing now after dealing with that?
I'll tell you what, like I ended up getting long hauler symptoms with it. Thankfully, it wasn't respiratory. I'm grateful for that. But it is the brain fog is like, so I had it like, I think end of February, beginning of March. And I had it pretty severe. I mean, I was quarantined for the full 14 days, but then, um, the brain fog to this point is still like the most persistent thing, and then the chronic fatigue is real. So I would say over the last month the fatigue has gotten much better, to where now like I'm able to get up by like 6:30 and work a full day. I'm pretty tired by the end of it, but like I was kind of limited to like getting going maybe at like 7:30, and by 3 I was just cooked. Like I couldn't even see straight. So it definitely kicked my butt. It was no joke, and gratefully I was the only person in my house that got it. And but yeah, it's so now I feel like I'm on the mend, and then thankfully yoga is back. I before COVID I practiced vinyasa yoga for almost 4 years, and I went 4 days a week. It was a huge part of my life, and that was one of the biggest missing components. But yoga's been back now for 4 weeks. It's only once a week, but just having it, like I really feel like that's put me on the upward trajectory health wise. It totally changed it. So it's good. It's no joke. I mean, it's no joke.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that I didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't have respiratory issues. It was just like crazy. I had a hundred and like 102 fever for like 8 days straight. I mean, it's just
Uh,
crazy, and it knocks you out. Like you're just
yeah.
totally cash. But I'm glad like my symptoms were severe, but I didn't have severe symptoms, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And digestive, it was fine, thankfully. So
Yeah. No, yeah, that's
I
good.
I didn't have any issues with that. And then people had trouble keeping down food. Like I wasn't hungry, but I could eat. I
Mhm.
lived on soup for those 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't
My
get to
poor
have your
wife.
you had to wait to have your Ben and Jerry's to after that, huh?
Oh no, my wife was leaving it at the door. I I think the last 4 or 5 days in there, like the sweets became comfort food for sure. Like I was loaded up on them just because it gets lonely, man. 14 days in your bedroom. I mean
It
that
does.
it's I'm naturally just on the slightly on the introverted scale, but like that's a little intense, for
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm glad to hear you're doing better. You look good.
Oh,
And
thank you.
and
I'm trying to get back to my pre-COVID weight. That's my big thing now. So
nice.
we're working on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was crazy time for a long time, and my routines are totally thrown off. I mean,
Hmm.
I work with kids, and online distance learning, and it's just like everything
Oh,
was weird, everything was different, and huge learning curve for everybody. And yeah, I
that
came
is so
down with
hard
it.
too to teach like that. I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
it's a challenge. But yeah, no, I came down with it in December. It was like right before Christmas, which is like the one time I didn't want to get it, and I still
It's the
don't know how I
worst.
got it. Yeah, I mean, I was working from school, so I don't know if I got it somehow there. Everybody was masking up and staying in their own rooms, so I don't think that's how it happened. My husband came down with it at the exact same time.
Oh,
So maybe it came from him. I really
yeah.
don't know. He had no symptoms at all. He had zero symptoms. He was fine. He tested positive, but he had no symptoms at all.
Oh, good for.
Um,
Well, that was good.
Good for him. Yes, I'm the one that that had
You got it.
it.
Well, you know what I said? It like if it was anyone in my house, I'd want it to be me. I don't want to be my wife or my kids. So it's like if one of us had to take one off the helmet, I'm glad it was me. Sorry, it was you.
Yeah, yeah, no, it is what it is. That's life, right? I mean, we can't control everything, and
Yeah.
we just have to deal with things as they come most of the time. And this is one of the situations. It did hit me pretty hard. It just started very basic, like allergies. Very, it
Hmm.
wasn't really that serious, and I didn't even think it was COVID. I thought it was allergies because I have allergies year round, like
Yep,
constantly,
I do
all my
too.
life.
Yeah.
So, but then, I started getting a sore throat. Then, when like 4 days into it, I woke up and I couldn't smell anything, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh no. See,
So
I had smell and taste the whole time, thankfully. I know
good.
people that had it when you did, and they still don't have smell or taste back.
Ooh,
People I work with. I can't imagine.
yeah, yeah. It was quite a challenge. um,
It
but
was.
it wasn't. I didn't lose taste. I lost smell for a week, but in
Hmm.
that time, I was still working. It was like the end of the second, quarter of the school year, and I still had to get things done. I didn't. I still worked, and I think
Hmm.
ultimately that was a good thing because even though I had like shortness of breath and my lungs were hurting, and I just wasn't feeling good. Like you said, it knocks you out.
It really does.
I think having that to focus on, like, kind of took my mind off of it and kept me, like, not like constantly worried about, oh, are things going to get worse?
Right.
What's this going to be like? And thankfully it was kind of a little bit of a slower recovery than I would have liked. It took maybe like a month to get maybe probably like 6 weeks to get my full energy back.
Yeah.
And I think the mental fog is definitely something that sticks with you for a little while. Um, but I think I'm doing better now. Thankfully, things are more or less back to normal over here. Our gyms reopened in March, so that was like
Yep.
a huge thing for me personally because it does so much for like your mental benefits and stuff,
It
like keeping active.
it's amazing when you take those things away, like what it does.
Yeah,
Like if it's part of your life already, yeah. I just like the first yoga class I went to a few weeks ago. I just sat in my car for 10 minutes afterwards, and I just was like, oh, you know what I mean. And it was like the worst yoga practice I think I can ever, because I haven't done it in forever. And then the room's 95, and I barely made it through. But I hadn't felt like that for over a year. That
mhm.
release you get in yoga and the endorphins, and I was soaked. It looked like I jumped. You just sweat it all out of your body,
Yeah,
and I am just so grateful it's back.
yeah,
What
yeah.
do- what what do you do when do you have anything specific that you do, or you just
Just like when I'm stressed out in general, or
yeah, when you hit the gym, is there anything you specifically like
oh,
to do?
oh yeah. I mean, I usually go for an hour. I go every. I try to go at least 4 times a week. If I don't do that, then I feel like I failed. But yeah, I go for an hour each time. Half the time I do cardio, half the time I do strength training. But yeah, I mean, I love all of it really. I mean, like one day I'll work arms, another day I'll do legs, and I'll do
Nice.
abs, and I'll just alternate shoulders. Just kind of one each time, and just then I'll start over the cycle again. But no, I really enjoy it. Occasionally I'll get there early enough to do like a spin class or something like that. But yeah, I love going. It's one of my things, in addition to toys. So, but anyhow, GA says, talk about Star Wars. All right, all right.
Thomas, yeah, yeah. All right.
Enough COVID talk.
Let's talk
So
about some more depressing topics.
I know, right? Yeah, but we're doing good. I'm doing good. You're doing good. So that's what's important.
Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's good.
Just really quick, and I think I already mentioned this last week. I did have the only two lingering thing that I have from COVID, as far as I know, is I cannot taste Coke or Pepsi like the same.
Hmm.
Root beer and Dr. Pepper are fine. I don't know what it is.
Interesting. I wonder what's there. So that means there's like one of the nerves or something on there isn't still firing.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. I don't know what it is. Root beer, Dr. Pepper are fine. It's just Coke and Pepsi. But if that's the worst thing that happened to me after that, then I think I can live
Yeah.
with that.
Good root beer sounds good.
Yeah, like a root beer float.
So hey, speaking of Star Wars, I'm so excited. I'm building my lightsaber in 6 weeks. So we're going to Disneyland. So all right, is everybody happy? We're talk about Star Wars. But yeah, we were supposed to go last year at spring break. So we're going in August. And I first
Nice.
thing I did like at 7 a.m. was book my reservation for a lightsaber when we're out there. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
That is rad. I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge since before the pandemic, and
Hmm.
I haven't done the lightsaber thing yet. That's definitely on my list. I'd like to do that. I think we're going. We have a reservation in October. I think it's like early October.
Nice.
Um, I could have done it earlier. They just opened a bunch of like dates like very recently, but it's
Hmm.
like it's like summer. It's like hot, and like oh wait, we'll wait a little bit. I love going during Halloween time. It's like gorgeous there during
Uh,
Halloween.
I
So.
love it. We've been to Disney World twice for Halloween, and because we're DVC members, so we go once a year typically, up until last year. So this is the longest. Either of my daughters are almost 13 and 16. This is the longest they've ever been not going to Disney World. The last time we went was June of 2019. So we're kind of spoiled with it, but it's I went growing up with my mom, so it's you know what I mean. It's generational, and I've got just memories there all the way through. Like my first vivid memory at Disney World is on the 15th anniversary of it,
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed in Kissimmee because we were really didn't have money, so we would drive down there and we'd stay out just where we could afford, and then come in for the day and stuff. And they did for the 15th anniversary. Every time when you came in, they scanned a ticket, and then they just had a raffle, and they were giving away prizes. Some were like huge, massive prizes, and some were just little things. And like I always feel like I'm the type of person like where I don't win things like that, just random. I just like it's so where and it's funny because I walked up there and I remember saying like, oh, I'm not going to get anything, and I won a pin, and it's a 15th anniversary pin. I still have it. It's up in my office, but like I like so, and I that was I fourth grade. So that like but I know I went the first time I went was actually in utero. My mom went to down there when she was pregnant with me. So I probably got jostled around on Space Mountain. How it turned out like this.
Nice.
So I loved it. I love Disney World, and I've only been to Disneyland once, so I'm excited to take the girls. And but I'm just so we haven't been to Galaxy's Edge yet. Just so
Mm.
as a child of Star Wars, I'm just I cannot wait, especially the lightsaber.
Yeah, no, you're gonna enjoy that. There's no feeling like standing before the Millennium Falcon for the first time and just seeing that in person. And
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
it's I'm really excited for you. And just and that's just part of it, right? I mean, you still have Pirates of the Caribbean, the Haunted Mansion, Space Mountain, like everything else
Yes,
that
yes, everything.
entails Disneyland. So yeah, good stuff. I love going. I really want to go back.
I
It's
do too.
one of
I've
my other
missed.
dream things.
I've genuinely missed Disney World. Like I really like it, it's just like a big part of our lives we miss because to me we always call it the Disney bubble because when you get there you really do check out of reality. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And especially if you stay on property, like you really are detached from reality and it I didn't realize like how much I need that with like the stress of work and all the other things going on. So
Uh-huh.
Disneyland's a little different, but we're staying on site, so I'm excited. And then we're gonna do 2 days at Harry Potter. Um,
Ooh,
so I'm looking forward to that. The girls are getting wands.
nice.
Do you have a wand? I don't know if I'm going to get a wand or not. I'm open to it, but I'm not sure.
I haven't gotten a one there. I do have some of the I forget what the company is. They're like $40 or so. They're like a replica company that they
Uh-huh.
manufacture like the screen accurate ones. I have a few of those, but I've never gotten one there, and I should next time I go there. It's been years, but next time I go there, I will do that.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know, but I'm sure when I'm there, of course I'm getting one,
Yeah,
right?
you
Like,
will. Yeah,
of course I'm getting one.
make sure you get yourself a butter beer while you're there.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. That's one of the other things that I love about going to the parks is the food and all the tasting you can do and especially that's why I love Epcot because we eat around the world there and it's like I remember again, I just have vivid memories. It's part of why my mom loved going there because she even said like I know I'll never get to go to these places, but I want you to see them and you can go there someday. So it was like her way to visit those places. And she loved. I mean, she would spend a whole day in Epcot to the point where I'm like, girl, let's go. I want to go on a ride. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, a lot of good memories there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, theme parks are great. It's great that things are opening up, and we can go back and do that. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. It sounds like a great trip. Really
I
does.
hope so. What color lightsaber blade are you gonna get when you get one?
That is tough. I go back and forth. I mean, I've always liked blue, but
Mm-hmm.
then purple is unique, and
Purple's cool.
I think they have like red and they have green, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if they incorporated like maybe a different color, I might go for that just because it's different. But I think at this point, maybe I do purple just because it seems like less people do purple.
Yeah, and I think you can do they? I know you can buy yellow and white, but can
Mhm.
you do them? I don't know if you can do them when you assemble it. Like you might only be able to buy the yellow and white,
I
like the
think,
crystal
yeah,
after.
yeah, I think
So
that's how that works.
I'm going green all the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll match your lights that you have back there.
Yes. There's my new light. You actually the first person to see it all put together. I just finished it.
Looks good.
Thank you.
I like it.
It was a fun project over 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I'll bet. And you got 6 DTOFs there, looking good with the lighting and everything. And like, no matter how many, I only have 3 of them, but I always feel like, okay, I bought one. I'm like, okay, if it doesn't fit in here, I'm not going to buy it. Like, yeah, I put Hot Toys in there. Like, I'm not going to buy it. If it doesn't fit in there, I'm not going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got another one. I'm like, okay, I feel like I need one more DTOF. Like, then I got a third one. I always feel like I need one more DTOF.
Yes. Well, I had 2 behind me, or I had 2 initially. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to get one more. I was like, I'll get 2 more. It's symmetrical, it's even.
Mhm.
And then when I'm checking out, I'm like, dude, just get 6. Like just be smart.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting 4 total. And then the lights I got, I actually, they're called Luke lights and they're pre-measured for DTOF. So their brackets and they have a diffuser on them. And they come out at a 45-degree angle, but everything is pre-measured and the wires are the same color as the poles, so they hide real nice behind them. But
Nice.
I'm not like super engineer guy. I'm not going to solder it. It's a joke on our show. Like I'm like one of our guests, Josh, at the Cap Cave said was trying to explain to me how to solder stuff for display. I'm like, dude, you lost me as soon as you said solder. Like I'm out. So for me, like I like it because it's a kit and you put it together. So, but
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of like a kid's dream when you walk down here. I imagine
I'll
like
bet. Yeah.
my 8 or 9 year old self, if I saw
Mhm.
this, I my head would explode.
Totally. I did all the lighting myself. Like I bought IKEA makes these. They're called, I think, the diode or something, where they make these
Hmm.
like lights. And I bought like the color changing ones that you can like set. You can do them color change, or you can just set like any color you want on them basically. And it was like trial and error because these things don't have instructions. It's very like, I mean, it's kind of however you want to do it. And like, I would see the wires. I'm like, no, it doesn't look good. I had to like cut them all out and then do them again. It was quite a process, but finally by the end, like I got it in and I think it looks good. And I did the other 2 like that. But
Nice.
yeah, putting lights in these things isn't always easy.
No, it's not easy getting them through there at all. Um, it can be tedious for sure.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
then I used I had the old LEDs were I had were in my 2 original DTOFs. So then I just put them up there and I got nice backlighting now. And now Pet Blue is all lit up, so that
Oh, cool.
looks cool up there. Yeah.
Nice. So let's talk about some of the reveals that showed up today.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Hasbro Star Wars. They kind of leaked out a little bit like last night, and then maybe I don't know if Hasbro was just like, oh, let's get in front of this, or they had already
Hmm.
plans on it. But this morning they put them in Hasbro Pulse. So there's 3 Hasbro PulseCon exclusives coming later this year. There's one for the Vintage Collection, and then there's 2 for the Black Series. So these are pretty exciting. I'm going to go ahead and share the. We're going to start off with the Vintage Collection. I know you're primarily, or are you strictly 6 inches? It
Yeah, I just do Black Series. Yes.
okay.
Yeah, no TVC for me.
All right.
It's already enough. I don't know how people do both because I also do Marvel Legends. So I just it's a lot as it is. That is
Yeah,
just so cool though.
yeah,
Ah,
it's neat. So this is the Emperor's throne room, and that might be a little bit gratuitous because yeah, it is the Emperor's throne room, but I don't think you technically get the whole throne room.
no.
Um, but you get the Emperor, you get his throne, and you get this little like backdrop. And
Ooh,
yeah, that's neat. That is neat. Now I
because
know that
that would size well in a DTOF. Like if you have a display like that, that would probably look really cool, like right in the center.
it would. It, you know, you'd have to be creative and fill in the gaps, right? All the
Hmm.
rest of the stage and everything. But you could put your royal guards in, your imperial dignitaries. You could put Luke and Vader in there, and yeah, you could definitely do a little scene like that. This is cool. So this is $31.99. They said that it's coming later this year. We don't know exactly when it's coming. But if it's anything like previous Pulse exclusives, I don't think it's going to be very easy to get. I am not a Pulse Premium paid member. I think it's like $50 or something, and I just never
Yeah,
really saw like the reason to do it. But given the exclusives that they have announced, I may go ahead and pony up the cash to do it because I don't
yeah.
want to miss these.
Well, that's literally the only reason to do it, because if you pre-order figures off Hasbro Pulse, I mean, you're going to be the last to get them by 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. But this is neat. I know that, we've
Oh,
wanted a throne for a long time in this scale. I think the last one we had was during the Power of the Force 2 days. There was the final like Jedi Showdown, I think it was called. And that was the last time we actually got the Emperor's throne. And, here we are 25, something years later. And we're finally getting an update to it. And, it's got the box. The Emperor is
box
supposed
is
to be
cool.
coming on an individual card, but if you want to get the throne, it seems like this is the only way to be able to do that. So I hope that they make a ton of them. I hope that everybody that wants this is going to be able to get it.
They have to know this is going to be like I mean, everybody's going to want this who collects TBC.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Emperor, so I've been talking to some other collectors that, were eager to see the new Emperor figure. And a lot of people the consensus seems to be, disappointment in that this seems like a reused figure. The head seems to be all new, but the rest of the figure looks to be reused from a figure that originally came out in 2005. So,
Oh wow.
so I mean, I definitely agree with that. I think the Emperor is a hugely important character. It's a figure that people have been waiting for ages in the vintage collection. And I know a lot of people were hoping that it would be from the ground up, completely 100% brand spanking new. And, the head's new. And I think the hood comes from maybe the Force Link 2.0 Last Jedi Emperor. But the rest does seem to be like Kit Bash using the body of the 2005 Evolutions Emperor and the tunic robes from the 2012 vintage collection, episode 1, Darth Sidious. So it's not perfect, but it's the Emperor and he has his throne.
Yep, I would love that for Black Series with the backdrop and everything. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think the throne in this one is actually the Black Series one, just scaled down to like 3 3/4. It looks like, because it looks like exactly the same as the Black Series throne.
Yeah, I missed out on that one.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Man.
It hurts. But we all have those, and then hopefully, like a good advice is just to stay patient, right? Just it'll re-release at some point.
Let's hope so. Yeah,
Yeah, keep telling myself.
Yeah, let's hope so. Or I think I always tell people, bite when it goes online, bite when you see it, because if I'm actually, and that's actually a really good point, because I'm never perfect with that either. I actually just picked this up today. This is the GameStop Cal Kestis Deluxe.
Oh, great figure.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not perfect. I always say, yeah, buy it right away. I somehow or another I missed out on the pre-order. And they never restocked it on GameStop. I don't know
No, it
why.
was gone.
They
Yeah.
restock everything on GameStop. So it was a surprise to me that this never got restocked. Somehow or another, last night I was just browsing GameStop. It said that a local store had 5 of these. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and put in the order. I'm going to see if it works. So I put in the order for store pickup. I went by it this afternoon when I left from the gym. And they said, Victoria, you're really lucky that we had this. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I am.
You're so lucky. That is great news.
Yeah.
Congrats on that find.
Yeah, thank you. No, and it's a great set. I love that game. I had a blast like playing.
It is a fun game. I like I overall I do generally enjoy the Gaming Greats line. Like I think they're really good fun figures typically.
Yeah, no, they are. And we need more Cal Kestis. We need more Jedi Fallen Order figures in both scales. We still don't have Cal Kestis in the vintage collection. That's one of my top 5 that I'd like to get for that scale. So
it's great. See,
yeah,
he's right down.
I love that they're building out Fallen Order in Black Series. Yeah, it looks great. Looks great. And
I think it's great they give you the 2 lightsaber options too. You know, I mean, and the holocron is a really cool. Because the one thing I wish they would have done is, you know how well, I don't know if you have the new Red Skull for Marvel Legends. It holds the Cosmic Cube perfectly, right? It fits in his hand. I wish the holocron would fit. It's not designed to fit in his hand, so you got to kind of put it like here, like in right where his elbow is, and just hold it in place like that. So it still looks cool, but it would have been nice if he could hold it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's neat. And in that game, you get all these lightsaber colors and
it's so much fun.
And I don't think it really exists in Star Wars. Well, it did in the novelization for The Force Unleashed. I know this is going back ways, but I think he was able, Starkiller in that book combined like a green and a blue crystal, and he got like an aqua color. And I was like, oh, that'd be my ideal color. Like if they had like a teal aqua color in Star Wars, and you can actually do that in Fallen Order because he has cyan, and it's basically that. So
yeah, there's so many colors there. Yeah, which is neat.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the Vintage Collection exclusive. So for Black Series, we have 2. The first
I'm
one
so
that we have
excited
here,
for one of these. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of them. So the first one that we have here, I'll go ahead and pull him up right here, is going to be Mr. Trapper Wolf. And yeah, so this is an easy one for them to do, right? I mean, they're utilizing the existing X-Wing pilot Luke body, and they're including Mr. Dave Filoni's head on it. And
new helmet.
Cool. Yeah, this is easy. This is cool.
I want it, but like I feel like I can't spend $30 for it. Like that I'm edifying bad behavior by doing it. I think I love and respect Dave Filoni. Like I think he's been involved in or directed or created the best of the Disney Star Wars. And I really enjoy and appreciate what he's done. And I would love a Dave Filoni figure, but I don't understand why it's $30.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's $30 because you can buy it early, basically, before it makes its way into the mainline next year. I think that's really what it boils down to. They did the same thing with Jyn Erso. They did the same thing with the First Order Stormtrooper. It's just kind of like bragging rights, I guess. Pay a little bit more, you get it early. I mean, he doesn't come with anything.
And you get the box that has the slide. Yeah, I mean,
right,
dude, that helmet's cool. Like, it'd be really cool to have him. And that's another figure you can put in your Mandalorian display, right? Like, I'm totally down with it. I can't do it. I can't pay $30 for a $20 figure.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I mean, it's not like the last ones, right? Like Cad Bane came with Toto, and the armor had like soft goods and extra accessories. Like it just seems like this one has like nothing. He just has like his helmet and a gun, right? So
yeah. Out of the basement says, look what the $29.99 got us with the deluxe boba. And I agree. Like if you're gonna give me that price tag, like including all those accessories makes it fair. It's totally fair game. Yeah. I do want this figure though. I'd love to have it, but it's the principality.
Yeah, no, I do too. I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm a sucker. I'm gonna get it. I'm a completist of Black Series. I have every single one.
Do you really? That's amazing.
Yeah. I don't have some of the accessories. Like I think in the first one was Boba Fett, right? And I think he came with the carbonite block. I didn't get that exclusive, but they released the carbonite block last year. And then like Jabba the Hutt, I think for Comic-Con, he came with Salacious Crumb, and he came with like another accessory or two. And I didn't get that set, so I'm missing some of those accessories. But in terms of just the figures, yes, I have the line.
That's amazing.
I don't display them all, but I have the line. It's, you know, it was, I don't know. That's me. That is me. So the other set we have is the Power of the Force Cantina Showdown. I was talking earlier about the cinema scenes from the Power of the Force, and that was the same line at the time in the 1995-1996 timeframe, where they were making these cinema scenes. And one of the cinema scenes, of course, was the Cantina Showdown. There's a ton of pictures in here.
Wow.
Trying to find the one with the box image there.
Oh, they were thorough.
They were thorough. They don't always do this. There's a really great boxed image in here somewhere.
Oh, and I love that you can manipulate it. I just saw that this existed. I didn't see that. That's cool, dude. I want to take a shelf in my DTOF and now build it around this.
Yeah.
And oh my God, dude. But the problem is, how does it look in the box? Because am I going to be able to open it? Because I'm until like a year ago, I really didn't open anything. And then just, I think being at home a lot, I started opening stuff. But like the Return of the Jedi exclusive from last year, I couldn't open because it looked too cool in that box. So I'm wondering, is this the same? Am I going to have to try to buy 2 of these?
Right. Yeah. No, it's cool. I mean, you know, this goes back to the Lucasfilm 50th thing that they've been doing for the last 6 months or so, you know, where every now and then you have a throwback to previously released like packaging line look for 6-inch. So, you know, this is neat. This one makes sense. And the last Cantina alien we got in the Black Series was at the very beginning of the line. It was Greedo in 2013. So this is a long time coming, you know, getting more Cantina characters. And they may not be the Tonica sisters, but, you know, at the very least, getting more Cantina characters. And these 2 make sense. These are very,
I mean, he's a wanted man in how many systems? I can't remember.
like 12 systems or something.
12 systems, yeah. He's a wanted man in 12 systems. Did you like that they threw them in Rogue One like that?
I did. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people said it was a little gratuitous in terms of being like a, you know, an Easter egg or fan service, but you know, it's whatever. It's Star Wars, you know, sure, why not?
I'm gonna say that I liked it because it was gratuitous. Like it was something like, I know you guys will love this, so we're gonna do it, and it doesn't make any sense, but we're gonna throw them in there. Because I remember watching in the theater, and I was like, you know, it was like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I'm like, oh, they're there, you know. So it made me happy on the spot. So that's why I like it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm enjoying it. You know, I assume that these figures will be released later on. These look cool.
People are going to want those figures. I mean, that Obi-Wan is the same one they just released.
It's
just in his robes. It looks exactly the same as the like the throwback Kenner one they did.
Yeah, so the Kenner one has more like an orangey. Yeah, so you know, similar.
This one, I think it looks like is it the same probably face sculpt too, maybe?
It's the same head I think that this figure has always had, but it has photoreal.
Yeah.
I feel like the beard looks a little weird. Like the hair color in this picture is like a little like too like tan looking maybe, but
yeah. This definitely looks whiter on the
But I mean, you're not buying this set for Obi-Wan. You're buying it for Ponda Baba, Dr. Evazan, and for the Cantina, you know, setup. So this is a little pricey. It's $104.99, but I think this is the only way you're going to get the Cantina. I don't think it's going to be possible to get that any other way.
So you're basically spending, because to me those are $20 figures, right? So you're spending $40 for the Cantina.
Right. Yeah.
That's expensive. But I'm getting, I won't indulge on the Filoni one, but this one I will. I'll cross the picket line on this one.
Yeah, I'm same here. This is like a must-have. I mean, for me, you know, Victoria's Cantina. I mean, this is my favorite scene in all Star Wars. Like, it kind of kills me a little bit that they're not doing this in a 3 3/4 inch, because I know they announced in their pipeline reveals for vintage collection that they are doing the Cantina from Navarro, but they're doing the Mosaic Cantina for Black Series. So hopefully,
That's interesting.
they'll correct that eventually. But I gotta have this. I bought every single Cantina set they did during 3 3/4 inch back. There was the pop-up diorama for the Power of the Force. There was the Cantina bar sections during the Saga line in like 2002, 2003. So, I mean, this is a must for me. I don't really do Lego a whole lot, but I did get the Lego Cantina because, it's my favorite scene. So, I mean, this is a must.
Mhm.
Like, if I miss this or I'm not able to get it, I'm going to be massively disappointed. So, I have every intention to buy this set.
Yeah. Adrian just asked a good question. Said, shouldn't the cantina include a bartender? I think for 100, yes. The bartender should absolutely be part of this cantina. 100%. That's a great point.
Yeah.
You know what? If they sell it separate, I don't. I think it's overcharging. But like, I hope they do sell him separate, because you have to have the bartender in the cantina.
Right. Yeah, you do. Absolutely. And yeah, I know some people were saying that, like on Ponda Baba, that his let's see if we can get a better picture of him here, that his proportions seem a little questionable. So let's take a look here. The main complaint I've seen about Ponda Baba is that his limbs are kind of skinny, like his legs are a little too thin. I mean, I can see that. I mean, I can
Isn't
see
that
that.
is that the Luke Yavin ceremony body?
You know what? You're probably right about that. Yeah, because I think they have the same jacket. So yeah, that's probably what this is here.
I have him out somewhere. Let's see.
Yeah, it definitely looks like, there's reuse here. I mean, it's got the older style knee joints.
He looks like he's got cargo. Did he have cargo pants on? Because that would be slightly different. These don't have cargo, but he does have the same gun belt, it looks like. Does he have boots too?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
boots as well.
And then same cut. Yeah, it's a total reuse.
Okay. Oh, well, there you go. And he's got the flippered hands, which is interesting. I wonder if he's going to have the. Oh, he's got both in this picture.
He's got both hands.
Yeah, he's got both hands. Nice.
Dude, his hands morph? I didn't know that.
This is I don't know if he has a removable arm though. But the reason he has the two hands is because in some shots of that scene, he's got the flippers, and in some he's got the furry hands.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
When it cuts to his arm lying on the ground, it's actually the furry hand. But I think for everything else, it's the flippers. So
that's so cool.
The reason that happened is when they did pickup shots in A New Hope, they actually, the pickup shots were done in Los Angeles, whereas the scene was shot at Elstree Studios in London. And when they did the pickup shots, it was just the arm, like the character, the costume, I guess wasn't on hand, so they didn't have that to reference. So it was just the arm with the furry hand that they shot with the bloody, stump and everything. But and this is another little known fact, they actually cut off his left arm in the scene. But every time Hasbro has done the figure in the vintage collection or in 3 3/4, he always comes with a right side removable arm.
Huh.
So that's a little thing they keep missing. So I don't know if this one's going to have that feature or not. It doesn't look like it, but it's still cool we're getting him either way. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has a removable arm to me. It's got a nice big head, though.
Yeah, it's a really cool face sculpt. The jacket looks, I think the jacket looks pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, that orange,
Yeah.
Yeah, these are great. I'm
really
excited.
Do what my buddy Vern could do. You could just paint this, but you wouldn't have the head. So that's
right. And Dr. Evazan looks good.
Wow, yeah, he's so cool.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, this is kind of a nitpick. I'm a little disappointed that they're not utilizing like the newer. I mean, they're obviously reusing parts, right? But a newer Black Series figure always have the pin joints, right, where you don't see like the double bends and all that. It's like the knee here looks not ideal. So if they were utilizing like the newer sort of technology they're using for Black Series, I would prefer that. But I mean, at least they're getting these characters right. I mean, it's not always
Exactly.
perfect, but I mean, a year ago, just thinking we would get Ponda Bob and Dr. Evazan would have been hard to believe. And seeing that they're coming at least is pretty exciting for me.
It is. It's really cool to have them. Cheers to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, of course, you have the Cantina section. So this is interesting to me. It doesn't feel fully screen accurate to me. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to go for. I mean, obviously they can't complete the bar right in this one set.
Right.
But I mean, just like the drink dispenser looks nice, but it looks a little small. And then the bar section
Mm-hmm.
seems like a little wide or something. Like, I don't know. They're definitely taking creative liberties here with doing this. So on one hand, I feel like, okay, maybe they could have made another set and given you the rest of the bar, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe this like is just in case they never do that. They're giving you a little bit more than was actually is actually accurate. So I can't really be upset about that.
Well, you can move it into different modes though, right? Like you can move the bar and tweak how. So maybe it's just in that view it looks.
You know what? That's a good point. Right here, it does look
Because
better.
that doesn't that look better like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
And I think it's cool that you can play with that if you want to like make your own design. Like I like it because if you got two of these, you could make like a real wide bar and do like a whole cool design with it.
Don't give me ideas, please. I'm already paying $100 for this.
I know. I know.
Yeah, this is cool.
It is
This is
so cool.
We need this. We need more stuff like this. I mean, Black Series for me, it's really hard to justify like really big pieces. Like the TIE Fighter. I bought the TIE Fighter, the First Order TIE Fighter, and that thing is just incredibly,
Massive.
ridiculously big. Yeah, it's when I got it, my husband was like, it's kind of ridiculous. Why did you buy that? And why do they need to make something of that size? I'm like, I don't know, but they did, so that's why I'm buying it. Like Beasts makes sense. The Dewback I think was awesome. Ray Speeder was great. The Land Speeder was great. The speeder bikes are great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you go bigger than that, it's kind of hard for me, like personally, to justify, that because, you have to dedicate a lot of shelf space to it. But environmental pieces like this
are perfect.
I think
Yeah.
are great. Yes. Like I love this. I mean, this is totally the way that you can, create a nice little diorama or scene on your shelf, and this goes a long way to doing that. And it also has some drinks, right? It has like some drinks that come with it. Yeah, right there. Bar glasses, nice.
Yep. Yeah, I have the snow speeder. I think the snow speeder is a great size. Like I have it right. I have it on top of a DTOF, and then I have Enfys Nest and her swoop bike. Her swoop bike is massive.
It is.
It is I couldn't believe how big it is. It doesn't fit in a DTOF. Like only half of it fits in, the other half sticks out. But this you could just build a whole shelf in a DTOF around it. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, you could. This is cool. Yeah. And maybe they will at some point offer like the alcoves or some of the seating for the cantina.
Yes. Well, they did the Han and Greedo one, which I would love to hopefully have someday, but they did that one.
But it's cardboard, isn't it? Like it's not really.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have.
Yeah, it's cardboard. It's not like this, that's for sure. And I know there are third-party companies that do excellent work and do offer things like that, but it's not inexpensive. So if Hasbro could do something to continue to build on this concept, I'd love to see that. I really would.
Yes, please. Yeah, we did. So we had an episode of Three Men and a Monkey Lizard, and the topic was we each came up with our top 5. We called them Build a Diorama. So if you would have like a line of 5 or 6 Black Series figures, instead of like Marvel Legends does, which is build a figure, here you would do build a diorama, and each figure would come with a piece of it. So that was like a fun episode because we all came up with some really cool set pieces.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
See you later, Justin.
Let's take a look at some of the comments that that we have trickling in here. So I'll go ahead and stop that right there. David, hello everyone. I'm late to the stream, but hey.
What's up, Dave?
How's it going, David? Thank you for joining us here. Out of the Basement says, all right, I get off work in 1 minute. Catch you guys later. Victoria, thanks for having Dude on. Yep, great to have Dude on and great to see you here, Justin. Have a good one. And Adrian says, Enfys is amazing. She totally is.
It is. Here out. I gotta, yeah.
Yeah, grab her.
Is.
And it kind of kills me a little bit that you can still get her like pretty inexpensively. Like
you can, but this is like the opening of A New Hope. It's like Spaceballs, like where it's like going. I mean, guys, look at that. I'm 6'3". Okay, like look how big this is.
You're a foot taller than me.
Nice, I win. And then it comes with a stand, which is nice, and the stand moves. But the detail on this swoop bike is awesome, dude. I mean, they really went all out with it. And the only thing I wish about her figure was you could take the helmet off. That would have been really cool. But the helmet, though, let me get it positioned right. Yeah, you guys see that helmet?
Yeah, it's good.
Here, let me do like a little magic. There we go. Lighting magic. That helmet is incredible. And she's got the big fur coat on her. Great bike and figure.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great set. I mean, I think you could still get it for like $30 on Amazon, which is pretty good. And you are getting bang for your buck. So if you've been on the fence for that for the last 2 years, you're crazy. You got to get this set. It's really good. It really is good.
I think, and that's one of those where, like, if we've all done this with certain things where you see it online 30 times, you see it in the store and you pass. And then all of a sudden, like, you're like, you know what? I got to buy that. I should buy that. And then they're all gone. Like, so I would say this is one of those things where people will sleep on it and then it's going to be gone. And then you're going to spend, $100+ for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely worth having. And, I have my little solo set up on my Black Series shelf, which is on the other side of the room. So, yeah, I love that movie, though. Like, if they wanted to give us more from that movie, I would take absolutely anything they want to give us.
100%. I have a whole shelf dedicated to the Solo movie. I love that movie. It was so much fun. My only request for that movie, like if I had a wish list, would have been we spent way more time in the Imperial Academy with Han. Like I would have loved to see him in Imperial Flight School and then get kicked out. Like that would have been a lot of fun. Now that probably would have made that movie 3 hours, but then we could take out some of the stuff there, and then could have been a sequel to that. But I think how cool would that have been? Because they did a comic run about it that's in canon, and it was a really cool comic run. So, but again, I love that movie. That's my favorite of the Disney era movies by far.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
And the line is really good. Those figures are really, really good figures. I mean, the face sculpts on them, Lando, Val's face sculpt is awesome. Woody Harrelson. Like it's like they put a lot of detail into that wave.
They really did. The whole Solo series of Black Series is exceptional. I mean, just out the
What's your favorite figure?
Oh man, it's got to be Lando.
He's good, isn't he?
He's good.
But the cape limits him. Like, you know what I mean? The cape limits him. My favorite is Mimbin Solo, the Mimbin Solo Trooper.
That's because
because you get the helmet, the mask, and then the goggles, so you could troop build with him, or you see Solo in that outfit, man, which is so cool. So I love that figure.
Yeah, that's a good one. They're all good though. I mean, we got Rio,
they really are.
We got
Even Moloch, I got Moloch for like $8. Like I'm happy to have Moloch in there with all. Like I know that's the one everyone wants to pick on, but I got it for $8 and he looks cool with the other figures in there.
Totally.
The other one that's good is I can't remember the Snow Trooper one.
The Range Trooper.
The Range Trooper. He is really cool with the big fur coat.
Yes.
Like, so cool. And I think Val though might be the best face sculpt.
Val is amazing. Yeah, Val is amazing. It kills me that we didn't get Kira in her Kessel outfit.
Yes, the Street Rat one. I don't like. If I had my choice, it wouldn't have been the Street Rat one. The Kessel outfit, dude. Are you kidding? It would have been awesome. Awesome.
I feel like that was something they intended to get around to at some point. Like I actually asked when Sam was with the Hasbro team, I asked him at Comic Con one time, like, hey, we need this. He asked me, he said, so, what figures do you think we need? I said, well, we need Kira in her Kessel outfit. And he's like, what scale? And I said, we need her in, I think, you guys have done a good job building up Black Series. So if I had to pick one, I guess I would say Black Series. And he's like, well, I think she'd be good in both scales. So I think at one point they had like a plan to do her, but, we got farther away from Solo and it just hasn't happened at this point. But,
they need that. They need to do that. I'd even take a Lando with the guard mask.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or not Lando. Beckett, yeah, with that in that outfit, that was cool too.
That was cool too. So we got a super chat from Darth Clueless. Thank you so much, Darth Clueless. Love your content. Do you think that a diorama playset could be the HasLab? So this is a good question. So Steve, let me start with you. What do you think?
Yeah, because they said it's not a vehicle, right?
They said it's not a vehicle.
So yeah, I totally think it could be a diorama. My wish is the Emperor's throne room, as the like a full Emperor's throne room where you have the big window that Luke can look out of with the battle. You have the throne, the background, you have the stairs, and then you have the elevator with the 2 Praetorian guards. That would be like my dream diorama. So that's my thought. What about you?
I really think it's the Rancor.
That would be great. I'd love that too.
I struggle with it. I know I said this like 2 weeks ago on the live stream we did a couple of weeks ago, but I struggle with the Rancor because I already have an awesome vintage collection scale Rancor. And that's the one that came in the 3 3/4 inch Black Series in 2013. It was a Toys R Us exclusive. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. I miss you. And it's a pretty good size. So I know that at Comic Con, I think it was 20. I want to say 18 maybe, or maybe it was 19, where they had like a mock-up of like a 6-inch scale Rancor. And I think they had that there because they wanted to gauge interest and see what people thought about it. And I know a lot of people expressed interest. And yeah, Black Series Rancor, give it to us. Me personally, I think it would be cool to see, but I feel like it would just be so big and I don't know where I would put it. But I really think that's what it's going to be because we're coming upon the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. And I think that whatever it is that they're trying to do, they're going to incorporate it into that era of the original trilogy. Just like we saw with the sail barge and, the Razor Crest is kind of a little bit outside of the original trilogy. I think it's going to be the Rancor. I could be wrong, but if I had to like bet on one thing that could possibly be, that would be my number one guess.
I'd love it if it was the Rancor with the throne. And like, so you had like the throne, the trap door, and then the pit with the Rancor in it below. I think that would be really cool to have all that, but I don't know how big that would be. But if you think about it, like a HasLab, so I've got the HasLab Sentinel and that was $350. And that thing, I think it's 28 inches tall. So, I mean, if you think about it, if it's a HasLab and they're going to charge $300-400, it's probably going to be hefty. Like, I don't think they could charge $300 for just a Rancor by itself. I mean, they'd probably want to, but I don't know how you can justify it.
Right.
The other thing I was really hoping for would be like a Cantina band set.
Yeah. So one of my co-hosts on
band.
Cantina Chatter, Tom, that was his suggestion, was that it should be the Cantina band set, like Max Rebo and Droopy McCool and Sice Noodles and all those guys, would make a fantastic HasLab set. And I think if I had to pick something, like just personal choice, like I was saying with the Cantina, continue to build out those diorama set pieces, that would be cool. Jabba's dais with the band members, I think would be like my ideal HasLab. I still think it's going to be the Rancor. It could even be the X-Wing. I know that they told up the X-Wing with the intention of following up the TIE Fighter with it, but because the TIE Fighter didn't do so well, they ended up not releasing it.
Do you think part of why though was because it was First Order? Do you think if they did like a classic TIE? What if they did Vader's TIE Interceptor?
Oh man.
I could not get my credit card entered quick enough if they did a Vader TIE Interceptor. Like Are you kidding?
That's a good point. You know, I kind of tend to lean towards it doesn't matter if it was like First Order or Empire era. I think that given the size of the product, given the price point, it was already kind of set for, you know, not being the biggest selling item.
It's probably too big because it's prohibitive to store and show
It is
it's
like,
just so tall.
and that's what I even mean with like the Rancor. It's just like it would be such a huge product that I just don't have the real estate in my, you know, I can't even display my entire Black Series collection. I have to be very selective. I have like a Clone Wars prequel shelf. I have a Mandalorian Rebel shelf. I have a Solo shelf / Return of the Jedi. So I got to be really selective with what's on the shelf, and just trying to think of where I would put a Rancor. I just couldn't do it. Like I'd have to dedicate like a whole other shelf for a Rancor or
Yes.
for anything else Black Series. So not easy.
No. Well, that's why Jabba had a whole pit for him.
Exactly. So Brittany says, if it is the Rancor, I'd be curious to see if it got enough backing. Like it probably would, but I feel there wouldn't be the same level of backing we've seen for the Razor Crest and Sail Barge. So I mean, that's another thing. You know, Mandalorian is kind of the thing right now. I'm in the process of rewatching Mandalorian right now because, you know, there's no live action Star Wars, so I've been rewatching the Mandalorian, and it is so good. So I kind of feel like there could be an opportunity there for, you know, some sort of a HasLab thing. It wouldn't be the Razor Crest, because then you'd be talking $1,000 thing that I don't think would ever get backed. But I mean, they could do.
That would be huge.
It would be.
Wait, like where would you put a Razor Crest?
Even the vintage collection one's going to take up a good, like, you know, 40 inches of shelf space. So,
you know what would be a cool vehicle would be the Cloud Cars, because they wouldn't be too large, and that's those are real. Like, I mean, like to this day, I remember seeing them for the first time and being like, and I remember having those as a kid, and they had the two figures that went in there, and they always fall out when you turn it to the side and stuff. But I'd get a Cloud Car. I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I would too. I love the Cloud Car. I mean, I know it's a little more niche. I know it's a little more, it's not part of current entertainment, as Hasbro likes to say, but I love the Cloud Car. I have the 3 1/4 inch one, right? I don't think you can see it right now, but it's like right in there. Yeah, I would do that. I don't think they'll do it, but I think it would be a cool thing to see.
No, I don't think they'll do that. And like an X-Wing would be pretty large too, but if they did that as a HasLab, I'd have to get it, unless, you know, and not to be down on the sequel trilogy, but if it was like Poe Dameron's, I would pass. But if it's like Luke's or something like that, I'd totally be all over it.
Yeah, I struggle with that too because, you know, 3 3/4 inch X-Wings are hard to display. The only one I have on display right now is Poe Dameron's right here. That is one of the best vehicles they've ever done in the vintage collection.
Really?
It really is. I mean, the last time they updated the Luke's X-Wing was in 2006, and that's the one that they just re-released 2 years ago. Was they changed the paint on it, but it's the same vehicle. Not with Poe's. It's completely brand new. It's fabulous. Like from the ground up, it's just an awesome product. But just imagining like either of those vehicles in 6-inch, I can't imagine where I would possibly put that. It's not easy to display even in this smaller scale. So
you almost have to put it on your wall.
That'd probably be the thing to do. Yeah.
Like just, flat on the wall like that.
Yeah. Superstore says like characters that would never make it at retail otherwise. The only way to get background characters anymore. So yeah, that's actually what we were talking about earlier with like Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazon. Like it's a miracle that they're coming to Black Series after all this time because we haven't had any Cantina characters since 2013. So yeah, I think like the Max Rebo band would fall under this umbrella, like, you know, background characters that aren't mainstream that hardcore collectors would, you know, put up money for in a HasLab. Definitely makes sense in that capacity.
I think part of my favorite segment of collecting is getting the random characters though. Like it just and yes, do I have 12 Lukes or whatever? Of course, I've got 12 Lukes. Like I'm 43. Yes, I've got 12 Lukes. But like I love just the random figures. They're neat. You know, it's cool to have.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, for me, that it's always been about those random characters, the background aliens, the Bespin security,
Yeah.
the rebel
Was it Wilrow Hood
pilots.
would be cool, like in a Black Series, or
There you
was
go.
it Woodrow Hood, right?
Wilbur Hood, yeah.
Wilrow,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I don't remember the first time, yeah.
Yeah, like it's always for me, Star Wars has always been about the weird, right? Like the different
Yeah.
stuff that makes you like that really like lights up your imagination. Like when I think about being in the Star Wars universe, what's the first thing I'd like to do? Well, I'd like to visit the Mos Eisley Cantina. Like I think I'm drawn to like the aliens and the crazy
Hmm.
stuff, and I feel like we're really like missing those characters in either scale. We're missing a lot of those things that we used to get decades ago, and I really would like to see more of an emphasis in those areas. And I think if it takes a HasLab to get us more of those aliens, more of those weird creatures, then so be it. But I definitely want to see that.
I do love the alien, and they do such a good job with the face sculpts on the alien creatures too. I really feel like they go all out for those for sure.
Yeah, they do. They always have. Even the Power of the Force, like aliens, still some of them still hold up pretty well.
So you mentioned there's no Star Wars shows, but are you watching Bad Batch?
Yep, totally.
Okay, so you got Bad Batch, and are you watching Loki?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I was going to recommend it if you didn't.
Yes, no, I've really been enjoying Loki. Like I know I was looking at a review that I did back in 2013 of the it was the Marvel Legends Loki. It was a Walmart exclusive when they were doing like I think it was an Avengers themed wave that was a Walmart exclusive like in 2012, somewhere in that time frame. And I was doing a review of each of those figures, and I was looking at the Loki review that I did, and I said, Loki is my favorite character in live action, like Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's
Yeah.
still true. I still love Loki, so I've been like just adoring this show. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, me too. It in each Marvel show has gotten better. So I think you could tell they've learned, and improved probably certain things, but the storytelling on this has been good. And like to introduce a character like Sylvie, and by the end of the first episode, you're like totally invested in her as a character. That's hard to do in 40 minutes. Like to literally introduce a new character. And Sylvie's, I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
I just have this weird feeling like, okay, so I don't want to get what's his name, Ralph Bohnert again, because like we all got into the WandaVision, right? Like, what's this mean? And there's a bug on the window. Does that mean something, right? Like, I think I especially fell prey to like the hysteria of the theories with it. But I've done better with the other shows, but like it's got to be something cool, right? At the end of this, like who's behind it? It's got to be Kang. I mean, it just aligns with the comics. It just makes sense. Um, so but I have this weird gut feeling that Sylvie's bad. Like she's gonna twist and betray Loki. And I would hate it because like I think she's like awesome as a hero, but like I think it would just be really interesting and brave storytelling if they did that. Because think of how gutted Loki would be then, right? And the
Yeah.
arc he would go on, like, because he just went through. We just saw him go through a second redemptive arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's on a hero's journey, and to have someone betray him, like the first person he trusts, like that, like what does Loki do after? Like that would, interesting storytelling, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, I agree. I hope that doesn't happen, but
I'm not rooting for that at all. I'm not rooting for that at all. But if they did, that would be pretty brave to do something like that.
it would. It would. But yeah, no,
The other person
mhm.
is oh god, I forget her real name is Gugu. I forget who she's playing. She's playing the judge on the show.
Mhm.
She's awesome in it too. Like so there's so many cool figures they can make from the show. They can make TVA guards. They can make the big judge guard that arrested Loki to begin with. I forget her name. She would be an awesome figure. So I mean they could do a whole smattering, but like I would take a whole wave of Lokis.
That'd be a good idea, or even like a
Wouldn't
box set that has like all the
Yes.
different. As long as it has alligator Loki in there.
I want President Loki. I want President Loki so bad.
Yes.
And then
With
the old
removable
school
hands.
Loki. Yes, with the removable hand. And I want Croaky too. I mean, oh my god, dude.
I hadn't heard that name for that.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
But I totally want that. Totally.
That'd be good. I'd like
Yeah,
that.
I would do a whole wave of them. Of those figures, man. That would be cool. The TVA Loki, I mean, it's a total repack, but
I got it because you're forced to because of the Build-A-Wings. You didn't, if you wanted cap
Right.
swings, you didn't have a choice, which I really, really was not a fan of that. But that Loki, it's cool to have him in the TVA code. It's one of those things where it's underwhelming, but I'm glad it's in there. Like it just adds to it. And I
Yeah.
think then I think if they keep doing Lokis, that figure becomes even cooler then because then it's just one of the variants of Lokis. I will tell you, I off the Disney store, I ordered the Marvel Select Loki pack.
Mm.
It was $29, but they had, how they always doing like 20 or 25%. So whatever, it's $29 at 20% off. And it's an incredible figure. And then it comes with Kid Loki in it. And then he comes
Wow.
with a staff, a knife, and a sword. And then he comes with other arms so you can remove his coat and then just have him in the shirt he's in. But the detail on it is incredible,
Oh,
and
wow.
it scales perfectly with like with like Thor and other figures. So if you're looking for another good Loki figure, that Marvel Select is sweet.
That's yeah, let me look that up. I haven't seen that actually.
Yeah, got on a shelf. So I built an MCU shelf this last Saturday night because I'm doing like I'm normally like the type of person where I would have done this all in a weekend, like assemble the DTOF, put up the lighting, and put the figures in, and just blah, blah, blah. But now I'm just doing it. I'm doing like one shelf a week and just kind of taking it slow and like enjoying the process.
Uh-huh.
Where's my Loki? There it is. Oh man! All right, wish me luck. Can't get him out without knocking everything over.
Yeah, that's a challenge there.
All right, I can do it. I know I can do it. There he is. All right. I'm not going to get cocky though. There we go. All right. All right. So first of all, this is the Kid Loki is a statue. I'll give you some more light. The Kid Loki is a statue, but really cool, isn't that?
Yeah.
Really neat. And then check out that Loki, man. Armor, like you got shimmer on the armor in the middle.
Oh, nice.
And then awesome horns and face sculpt, and then just really cool detail on the jacket.
It's got the sword and yeah.
And he comes with the staff too, and the staff you could totally put with an MCU Loki because it looks like the staff from Avengers. Looks just like it. But for $29, you got this, all the accessories, and a statue of Kid Loki. I mean, the value is awesome. Awesome. So if any of you guys are on the Loki like hype train, and the other, you can also get Lady. I don't know how Lady Loki's probably going to go through the roof now, but this is the comic Lady Loki. Another really, really cool. But we've had this for years. But as of like a couple of weeks ago, you could still find this, cheaply on Amazon.
Nice. That's cool. That's really cool.
So yeah, so I got a little Loki corner. And I did an MCU cosmic display, so anything involved, and I consider like Asgard part of the cosmic. So, so I have all the Lokis in a corner of the cosmic display.
Nice. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, no, exciting stuff. I'm really eager to see where this show goes. I mean, I'm just really enjoying it, and these Marvel series have been great. So give us more. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Loki's been exceptional. Like WandaVision was like half amazing, half just terrible, and then I thought Falcon Winter Soldier was great, just super solid, and loved the arc and both guys' stories in it. But then Loki is just another level, I think.
Yeah, I really liked WandaVision. I really liked like the throwback episodes, and I thought that they were just like a blast. And yeah, I think I liked it better earlier on. As it went on, it was still really enjoyable for me, but I liked like the earlier episodes where it was like a huge throwback. And I have right here actually, speaking of Wanda, on her one of those Hasbro Pulse displays.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah,
that was a good figure. That's a really good figure.
Yeah, good likeness. Really fun.
Yeah, and I feel they got her outfit really well too. Like the new outfit is solid.
And isn't it cool how like there's this whole wave of like Disney Plus Marvel Legends, and thinking about like The Mandalorian, we had to wait like a long time to get a lot of those main characters.
I'm surprised we got a Loki one as early as we did. Like that,
right?
that lucked out. But probably they were expecting to release them a little bit earlier because everything got delayed. So maybe that was why. But yeah. Keep making the Disney Plus figures. I'll take them.
Please. Yeah, no, I'll definitely gladly accept more, and we're all here for it. So
Like the Zemo one is so cool, and then you
yes,
have
it
the
is.
like his face sculpt is awesome, but then his mask is awesome. So you're like, oh, like how I haven't taken him out. He's still in the box, but I was like, I don't know which way to pose him.
Yeah, Dr. Zemo's. I love Dr. Zemo. Yeah. It is a great figure too. But so Marvel Legends, I think they did some really good stuff with that wave. The live action stuff. What do you think about what we've been seeing with a lot of these Infinity Saga figures that have been announced in recent months?
I think I like that they're giving people a chance who don't have those figures to get them, and they're like slightly tweaking them. Like they've made them better, right? So I like that. I think the packaging is cool. So if you already have them, they're out of box. The packaging is very collectible, like to keep them in those boxes. And I think the Surtur one it's 13 inches tall. Like that is so cool, the Surtur one. So I pre-ordered all of them. Although the Odin looks like that guy that's in all the memes, that old guy with the beard. How is his name? Howard. That's in all the memes. So I don't know what went wrong with the Odin face sculpt, but that is not a good rendition. But yeah, I ordered all of them except for the one with Rescue and Captain Marvel, just because we already have those figures, so I didn't want to double up. But I do have that Iron Man already, but I got one because I just love that box. So I want to keep that in box. What about you? What did you think of those?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not all in on Marvel Legends like I am with Black Series, but I do have a good amount of them. Like I definitely like for the comic ones, I do all all the ones that are the X-Men that are based on like the 90s TV series. I do those.
Yes, me too.
Yeah,
Those are my
they're
favorites.
awesome. They're incredible.
So the two shelves here, right? Like you see where I have like the cards. So that one, and then Mojo is right there from 90s X-Men. So these are going to be the last two shelves I built. These are my favorite, are the 90s X-Men. So I'm going to have two shelves of 90s X-Men back there.
Nice.
That Mojo Build-A-Figure, by the way, is... Sorry, I totally cut you off, but I got excited when you said 90s
Yeah,
X-Men.
no worries. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't have that.
This thing, it's a Toy Biz too. Super cool.
Great.
I love the Mojoverse episodes in 90s X-Men. I'm on my third rewatch of it since it's been on Disney Plus. Like it's like comfort food. Like if it's 11 at night and I just want to chill out for 22 minutes, like I love putting that on and just sitting, and it's great storytelling. So sorry, what were you saying? I got too excited.
No, I think I was saying, so I mean, I do those. I have some of the animated X-Men like that have been released recently in the retro line, and Venom. And then I do have like MCU like figures, like quite a few of them, but I'm not all in like I am with Black Series. So I mean, these, I think if you don't have any Marvel Legends for like MCU and you want to get into them, I think like these new Infinity Saga figures are the way to go. I mean, they're hitting a lot of like the marks that you would need if you were trying to go to build a collection for that. I'm not
like the Obadiah one. Like I love the Obadiah one.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that thing looks really cool. And then I'm gonna take I feel like it's one step closer to a Big Lebowski figure then, because we got the dude there.
Right. I just saw a figure of him. I think it was by Sideshow. They just announced
$250. Yeah, Sideshow. Every day I keep going and looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I can't. Like I want that so bad because it is my favorite movie of all time.
Well, then maybe you can make that exception and go
That's
and get
a lot though for one, because I don't know. I don't have anything like that. Everything is Black Series or Legends. And I have two Wonder Woman figures. So other than that, but like man, that's such a leap for one figure.
It's dangerous. Once you start down the Hot Toys path, forever will it dominate your destiny. Seriously. And I know it's Sideshow, but it's still a 12 scale or 6 scale premium figure.
It looks so cool, dude. It's got the glasses. He's got there's 4 different White Russians. You know what I mean? Like he looks so. He's got the jelly sandals, and the sweater is so on point.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't deserve it. I work hard, but that's I feel it's like a gateway drug. Like I'm gonna do that, and then it just all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
That's how it starts, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be Black Series, it could be Vintage Collection, it could be
Yes.
Hot Toys. Like, all it takes is one, and then you're like, this would look really good next to this other character, and then you just start wanting them all. So I know this full well. So you got to be really
I
careful,
do.
especially with like Hot Toys and premium stuff. It's just rabbit hole.
But I do love that movie. That movie makes me so happy.
Yeah,
It
then
really
you should get it.
does.
You really should get it then.
So I try to channel the dude as much as I can. That's why it's not the dude's nerdery. It's a dude's nerdery because he's the dude. I'm just a dude, right?
So protege, yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of his proteges. When you graduate, you get a pair of jelly sandals.
Nice. Adrian says, I want a Halle Berry Storm. Yeah, I think that would be cool. They've done a few of those so far. Not a Halle Berry Storm though yet.
That would be cool. I think because the cinematic X-Men line that they released last year was really good, like with from the X-Men movies, and they didn't do a Storm, and so I have to think that they would do like another continuation of that line and do a Storm with that, because I you know what I mean. I was shocked that they didn't do one of her.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't do Jean Grey. They didn't do Storm. They didn't do Cyclops. So maybe those will be like a wave 2, which would be really cool, because those were really well done. Professor X in the wheelchair, Professor X, Magneto, Ian McKellen Magneto was outstanding.
Yeah.
And then both Wolverines were cool. And then the Deadpool one, it was the 2-pack with Negasonic Teenage Warhead. The Deadpool figure is amazing too.
Yeah.
And the Domino. Oh my God, her hair too. How they did her hair on it, like the face sculpt. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just rambling, but I get excited.
Yeah, no, they're doing some really good stuff with Marvel Legends, and I think what was the topic? I think it was like these Infinity Saga figures.
Yes.
Yeah, no, good jumping on point if you've never done Marvel Legends and you want to get into MCU figures. I think definitely look at these. They're definitely worth considering. But yeah, I'm just kind of picking and choosing with them. Don't think I'm going to get them all, but some of them look really good. So
absolutely. They do. They look cool. And even though like the Iron Man Thanos is a repack, it looks like it looks like it's a next level figure, because they took the molds and then they upgraded the paint on them. And I just think it looks incredible. I'm a sucker for an Iron Man figure too. I've got a whole shelf that's just Iron Legion. So they release an Iron Man figure, I'm almost buying it as soon as I can.
There's so many of them too.
Well, the wave they have coming out, I think there's 3 Iron Man figures just in the one wave, 3 new ones.
Oh.
And then plus Ruri, so you have Ironheart too. So I think that's 4.
That's a lot. That is a lot. So let's take a look at some of the comments that we've been receiving in here. Kind of go back just a little bit. All right. So let's see. So Brittany says, first they need to give us a Poe figure that actually looks good. Oh my God. Yeah. Poor Poe. None of the 6-inch Poes look like Poe. It's terrible. And I don't know if we're too far removed from the sequel trilogy at this point to actually get worthy like Poe, but I think he really deserves it at this point. Adrian says 6-inch scale blurg.
Ooh,
yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd be interesting. I could get down with a blurg.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. And you could put, your Mando on it. You could put Queel on it. That'd be neat. Or you can make, I know they'll never make it, but one of those like flying creatures come down and like pick up the blurg.
That would be neat. Yes.
That
would really be cool. Yes. Yes, please.
Supersaurus. Okay, again with the Master Code Breaker, Slide Master Code Breaker, and I'll back day 1. I love this. Adrian says, Moma Niran. Yes, Hammerhead has always been like my favorite Cantina alien, and
I'll take it.
yeah, we need him, especially now that we're getting Ponza Baba and Dr. Evazon in 6-inch. Like, to me, that's the next logical release is Hammerhead. Absolutely. Let's see here. So yeah, lots of conversation about Loki and Supersaurus. I demand a Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. Wait, oh man. Classic Source says, what do you guys think is the best Black Series figure of this year? For me, it is either Clone Wars Obi-Wan or Return of the Jedi. Both. This is a good question. So, Steve, what do you think?
Great question. Oh, all right. Sorry, I gotta turn back.
Yes.
I loved the Kenner Obi-Wan that came out this year because it merged one of my favorite childhood figures with Black Series, and the color of that lightsaber blade is awesome, and the face sculpt, the Sir Alec, right? So again, I'm just looking. The Boba Fett Deluxe was incredible. The Darth Maul release they just did though is, I mean, that figure is something else, and then so's the Obi-Wan Clone Wars. I don't know if I have a favorite. Those would be, and Cal. I think Cal Kestis was exceptional too. I'm thinking those might be. Oh, Ventress. Oh my God, Asajj Ventress.
Yeah.
It's I don't think I could pick one. What about you?
It's tough. What you mentioned though about Obi-Wan's lightsaber, the Kenner style Obi-Wan, like I hope that they do all lightsabers like that going forward. It has a very nice, like glowing, like look to it.
It stands out versus it totally stands, like I can see it from here, like emanating.
Yeah. But as far as like picking one, oh man. So I really like Boba Fett. I don't think he's my favorite though. I have a few qualms with that particular release, but just looking over there really quick, I think I'd have to go with Ventress, honestly.
She's good, isn't she?
She is great.
And one of the things that's cool about her is that sash, the rubber sash, is not actually a hindrance. You can use it as like a tripod with her legs, so you can get her like lunging with both lightsabers out if you use it that way. So I do love that figure, man. Ventress is just such an awesome character.
She is.
Yeah, and Bo-Katan too. I mean, the head sculpt on her. They've really. I mean, this has been a really good year so far for Black Series. I mean,
the Bad Batch figures are great. I mean, everything that they're doing with Black Series lately, like once they started incorporating photoreal and started doing away with like, the double bends and the joints and stuff, like I think they really started like ushering in like a new era of Black Series, and they're really looking better than ever. And I'm really excited to see what else they have like coming down the pipeline.
Yes. Yeah, me too. Well, and the figures they've already teased, I'm excited for what's coming on the back end of this year too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, really excited for more of that. Yeah, so good stuff there.
Good question.
Yeah, no, really good question. It's hard to pick just one because I mean there's just so many.
They are so good. That Maul though is exceptional. I mean it really, really is exceptional. And they upgraded the lightsaber on it too. I think it's got better detail.
Yeah. Victoria, I love you. Thank you, Adrian. Very sweet. Love you too. Let's see. Brittany says Jar Jar is the best. Jar Jar is a stellar figure too. Can't forget about Jar Jar.
Yes, he's really cool. I like him a lot. Great accessories too.
Yes, it kind of kills me that this figure didn't do better than it's done, because it has gone to clearance in a lot of places. But
I was surprised.
Yeah, I mean it's really good, and I mean I kind of understand, because I mean it's quite a bit of a markup considering that you're not getting like a little bit more, but I mean it's good. It's so good. It really is. It's definitely like a top 10 Black Series, I would say.
Oh, I totally agree. Oh, and the other things were good were the Phantom Menace card re-releases. Because I finally got a Qui-Gon, which I was glad to have, and then I had the Mace Windu in box, but I didn't want to open the Black Series box because I have a hard time opening things. So so I got that, and then but the Qui-Gon and the Mace Windu's are, you know, even though they're re-releases, the Qui-Gon face sculpt was really good.
It is good. It's way better. That first one is just, it's not that great. So yeah, this new one is with the new updated head is so much better.
Yeah, Adrian's saying Bib Fortuna and Fennec Shand. Yeah, I'm pretty psyched for both those. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I wanna wonga.
Yeah, no, Bib Fortuna, you know, another alien, you know, that is not a huge player in the film, but when you think of Return of the Jedi, I mean, one of the things you think about is Jabba's palace, and you know, Bib Fortuna is one of the bigger players in that scene.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I'm really excited about that, and you know, more aliens. You know, anytime Hasbro wants to say, hey, we're going to give you this alien from this scene in this classic movie that you love, you know what? No complaints. Okay, give it to me. No questions asked.
Yep.
So Steve, tell us a little bit about what's going on over on your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel. Let me see. So that's a super broad question. So it is my channel is you know, I think that the premise of the channel, and I really come to understand this, is it's more fun to do this with other people than it is by yourself in your basement. And part of it is like, if you get a figure you're excited about, like, I don't have anyone to go share it with, you know, at least I didn't until, you know, and now, like, if I make a video, I've learned that I really enjoy like planning it out and editing it. And it's like a fun creative process now that I get to do, but it's fun because like I'm excited about something, and then now I get to share that with other people, you know, and then I get to watch your videos and they're excited, you know, and it's so now I'm sharing something that brings me joy versus like just keeping it, just being lonely with it in a sense, right? And by yourself. And so that's kind of just the premise of the channel, is sharing it. So one of the things I started doing a few weeks ago, and I had this idea, was like doing live stream display builds. So like tomorrow night we're doing which one? We're doing the Rebels shelf. And so like a handful of people will join me, like Dreg's Cat, Josh Wall, and Apprentice Ewok. And then basically we just live build the display together. Like I show, all right, here's the 15 figures I have, and we talk about which ones are like the first round picks, right? These ones are the most important, and how do we want to stage it? And we just hang out for like an hour and a half, and then they're building this, like, so then they start building displays, and then then we started just making offerings to the toy gods, which is just opening up and unboxing toys, and then it's kind of like if I'm unboxing something and we're doing it on a live stream, it becomes really cool because now I'm excited. I'm like, oh, look at this. And then they're excited, right? And then it's just this like, it's this, now you have this chain effect where we're all spreading and sharing joy with each other. And I genuinely like love and appreciate that. And then 3 Men and actually have a lot of streaming this weekend. It's kind of funny. 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard, which is the group I'm part of every week with it's Salacious Rum and Sean Solo and Vernon Oakhurst. So tomorrow night we have our Saturday night live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern, and what we're doing is a Black Series draft. So there's another group of guys, the Peg Warmers, they have a show. So we've invited them on, and we're doing a 10-round draft of Black Series figures. So any figure that's been released is eligible. So even like the carbonized versions are eligible, things like that. And we're gonna, you know, it's a true draft. So once it's selected, it's off the board, and then we're gonna compare our lists and see who had the best draft of their top 10 figures. That's so cool. But we like to do fun stuff like that, and it's very inclusive, which is great. And then, you know, the videos I've been doing lately have basically been about this. So I just filmed a video about doing a review of these lights that I just got, and then how to install them and stuff like that. So when I get a chance, I'll edit it. And then so like if you don't get a figure early, you're like the 50th person to do a review, right? Like it just like, and so for whatever reason, I tend to get figures like 2 months after everyone else, but I still want to review it and do it. So what I do with a lot of them is like versus or comparative videos. So I'll take this Loki and we'll compare it to this Loki in the video. So just trying to do something different and interesting, or I'll just take a wave, like an entire Legends wave, because I got it a month after everyone, and I'll rank the wave and do like a wave review or something like that. But but it's half Star Wars, half Marvel Legends, and And then, like I said, I'm just doing a lot of videos now on just setting up this. And then each display, I'm doing a tour of each shelf. I'll do like another video that's a tour of it and all that. But I've been really like low on the video content lately. That's just because work has been, the work content has been high. So the creative process has been a little low, but I'm hoping to, hoping to bang a few. I've got several that I've been really looking forward to opening and doing videos on soon. But that's just summation of the channel. It's instead of being lonely in your basement, maybe you show your kids and they're like, yeah, it's cool day. My wife is like, you're like, I don't even know what that is, So it's I get to share it with you and all these other friends. Like when I show you Lady Loki, you think it's cool, I think it's cool. It makes everybody happy, and I love that, man. Just it's spreading and receiving joy,
Yeah, no, you bring up some really good points. I mean, like it's pretty similar here. Like my husband is totally not into like collecting or like Star Wars all that much. He watches The Mandalorian. He enjoys it somehow or another.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really understand like collecting or what the appeal is in it for me. But I mean, it's just something I've always done. And before like the internet, it was just like me or people that I would like come across like in stores, that also, like, you the more you go to stores, like early in the morning, trying to see what was new on the shelves, like, I'm thinking back to like early 2000s, like, you would meet people and that's how, like, those are the only people that you really knew that collected, but like through YouTube and through social media, you get to talk to other people and like through live streams, we get to get together and really like talk about new releases, upcoming releases, and just kind of like, there's that sense of community that's really nice to have. And yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, and it's similar for me too. Like I haven't been doing as many videos as I've done in the past. Like I kind of moved away from reviews like last year. I mean, when I started like in 2013, there weren't like a ton of people reviewing toys, but like now it's like, so many people. And when you mentioned that if you're not first, you're like kind of last, like, yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, it's not always easy. Like I know some people will pay a lot of money to get something imported from China or Singapore, from wherever, just to get that first, like those first hits. And good for them. It's awesome that they can do that. But I mean, a lot of us can't or, aren't willing to do that. I mean, a lot of this content we're making just out of sheer like passion for.
Exactly. Yeah. It's for the fun of it.
Yeah. It's for the fun of it.
I got Cal Kestis I pre-ordered Cal and I got him like right on release day. It showed up. So I was actually one of the first videos for Cal. And I've got a little over 1,000 subscribers now. So I'm a small, YouTube channel. But in that first 24 hours, I got 1,000 views. And I was like, wow, like that's so cool. And then some of the big channels released theirs that afternoon. And and then I got like 50 views in the next 24 hours because they just you're out. You're in, you know what I mean? As soon as theirs goes out, but and that's all part of it, and it's okay. But it like part of me is fun just because I want to enjoy it with other people. You know what I mean? Like that's why I like that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I that's kind of the approach that I've taken as well. Like lately, like there's always going to be another bigger channel or a review that for whatever reason gets swept into the algorithm for. Who knows why? It just, YouTube has so many mysteries like behind it. And, we don't really know why things work the way that they work sometimes, but
I really don't understand it. Like I'll have some videos that do 500 to a couple thousand views and others that do 54. Like I don't understand it, and it's okay. But like, it doesn't.
It's interesting. Yeah, it totally is interesting. So yeah, no,
but
good.
This is one of the like last year we're all locked up, and so my channel's a year old, and it was born from being in the house and stir crazy, and like I said before last year, I didn't open almost any figures. My daughter's figures, they're old enough now where they're too cool for it, but we've got 70 female Marvel Legends and Black Series figures. And they're all open, and they've all been played with and loved and stuff. And now I've stolen them and incorporated them into my things. But it's like I started opening figures for some joy last year, and then realized, wow, I do enjoying and posing and display, having these. And then and then just I didn't even know like toy Twitter and toy YouTube existed until in the early spring, and I'm sitting there stressed and just I'm in my home office and I travel for work. So all of a sudden I've been traveling for 12 years. And all of a sudden I'm not traveling. And then you see this and that, and then all of a sudden, like, well, I could do, maybe I'll do that, you know, and then you, next thing you know, you got a YouTube channel. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it
Yeah,
is
it's
one of, like,
interesting.
the best, like, one of the best things that come out of last year, though, is now I'm part of a community that I didn't know existed. And
Yeah.
and now there's other people who enjoy the things I enjoy, and I can talk to them about it. Because, like you said, like Mrs. Dude will go watch Star Wars movie with me, and she'll enjoy it, but like we're not enjoying it the same way, and we're not looking at the same things. And if I want to talk about it afterwards, like I'll mention things and she's like, I don't even know what that is. Like, who is that? Like, what are you talking,
Uh-huh.
and like, so I'm grateful she'll come and watch it with me and enjoys it. But like you want to talk to somebody who's looking at it through the same lens you are to share those
Right.
perspective and ideas. Right. So now being here, we get to do that, which is cool.
Yeah, no, totally. Very well said. And, that's what it's all about, is about the passion and enthusiasm and excitement that comes out of, this hobby, and, the joy that it
Mhm.
brings us. And, everything else is secondary. Everything else is just, you know,
Yeah.
a byproduct of that. But, as long as we can continue to do it and we enjoy it and it makes us happy, then, I think that's what's most important.
Yeah, I mean, I get to be on like a weekly live stream with three other dudes, you know what I mean, that I
Yeah.
didn't even know before this, and now I consider friends. And now we're doing like another, we call it a night owl stream. We do it at 11 o'clock Eastern, and
Nice.
those, handful of guys are like to come and hang out because their family's asleep like mine, and they're up and they want, we hang out and we build action figure displays. So
Yeah,
it it
totally.
it's just something that I never even knew existed a year ago. So I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. And no, you're doing great stuff over on your channel. And I implore anybody that's here that hasn't subscribed to your channel yet to go ahead and head over there and do that. I've already included links
Oh, thank you.
to that, yeah, in the notes down here. So, and where else can our viewers go to find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram too. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I'm terrible with social media. I'm just like, I'll post pictures on Instagram occasionally, and then Twitter is just more us talking about like toys and new releases and movies, and then conjecturing about what's going to happen in Loki and stuff like that. But it's dudes nerdery on a dudes nerdery on both of them. And like I always say, Jeff Bridges is the dude. I'm just a dude.
You're the protege.
I'm gonna graduate and get the jelly sandals someday.
Love it. Well, cool. So guys, definitely check Steve out on social media and on YouTube. The links are down in the description, so they're already there. You don't have to do anything, just click. Let's go to take a few more questions, and then I think we've been going a good solid hour and 42 minutes. So
Wow,
we'll
very
take
cool.
a few more questions here, and then we'll go ahead and call it. So Adrian says, Victoria and dude, what are your thoughts on GI Joe Classified? So Steve, what are your thoughts on GI Joe Classified?
Is that so? I don't collect. I did collect Joes as a kid. I don't collect them now. Is that the pre-orders that got FUBAR'd and no one could get this week?
Yeah,
Is that what the classified was?
Classified, yeah, is the 6-inch line of GI Joes.
Yeah. So I all I saw was a lot of people I know and like were really really frustrated and unhappy in like the last 48 hours about that. And
Yeah.
I think it's not just the GI Joe thing. It like this is the experience you get with Legends or with Black Series with these
Mm-hmm.
exclusives. And exclusives to me are it's kind of like they have to know how frustrating of an experience it is for their fans, and there's no need for it, but they keep there's more of them. I feel like they're doubling down. So I don't. It's it's just such a frustrating experience. So but
Yeah.
I saw just a lot of disappointment and frustration yesterday from people who just genuinely want to give them money for a product.
Yeah, I think exclusives definitely are they're a necessary evil, but they are something that make a lot of people unhappy because of the nature of an exclusive. You have to go to one retailer to get it. Sometimes they solicit it online, sometimes they don't. They're not available in all countries. It's not a good situation for anybody that's a
Right.
collector. But I do see the incentive of having a company like Hasbro or Mattel or whomever say, hey, you're a retail partner. If we give you this exclusive, will you buy more from us from these waves? I mean, I get that. There's a lot of business
I totally get
behind
the
the
business
scenes.
side. but make it so we can get it. Like if like no one cares that it's a Target exclusive if I could just log on and order it.
Right. Right.
Or I could go to a store and find it without stopping in 10. And the thing is, like, I travel, we're traveling again. So I travel almost every week for work. And when I'm out, I'll stop in Targets and there's no figures anywhere. And I go all over the place. Like I was in Columbus this week. I stopped at 2 Targets and it was the Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. I'm trying to pronounce it right now. Shang-Chi wave. And there's like no even Black Series figures on the shelf in 2 different Targets in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, and then I stopped on my way home here in Michigan and there was nothing on the shelf there either. So
yeah, this is, I talked about this in a video earlier this year, where the toys aren't, and it's like, yeah, I mean, Black Series aren't anywhere to be found. Like I was just at Target yesterday and there's zero. I haven't seen a single Black Series on the shelf there in like weeks.
yeah.
And it's frustrating, and it's also like, I mean, it's really like a buzzkill, to go over there thinking, oh, this awesome line, they're making figures better than they've ever made before, but I can't find them anywhere, even if it's like, something for maybe not for me, but something that somebody else doesn't have yet in their collection, like, even like a Queel or just anything else that's recent, a Bo Katan, anything like that could be on the shelf for somebody else, isn't present. And it frustrates me, even though I might already have those figures, just to know that, I mean, you can't bring new collectors into the fold if they don't have anything to get them excited or anything on the shelf.
Right.
So
Have no access to it. Yeah, but if it was just easy and product was available, no one would care that it's an exclusive.
yeah.
And then the other thing is too is what condition is it arriving in? You know what I mean? Because then now you're playing shipping roulette. I don't know if you saw a super awesome Geek Show's picture, but he had a card that was origami folded down to fit into a small pouch. Like that took effort to do that. Like literal effort to do that. So because then there's the backside of it, and then oh hey, can I exchange this? Well, no, we're out of product. Right. So you're now stuck with a damaged figure or damaged card or whatever.
Yeah, and we see that a lot. And yeah, Walmart is notorious for this. I mean, another video I did last year was, how Walmart was shipping their retro collection stuff. And it's just like, I hadn't seen one as bad as like his, when I saw it the other day, I was like, wow, that's just, yeah. Like you said, it takes effort to ship something so poorly. Like you're not just going to ship something so poorly on accident. Like you had to have actually like folded it and put it in there that way.
Well, I think they should, Hasbro should have a standard practice agreement for shipping. That no bubble envelopes or any type of envelope, right? That should just be, if you're selling our product, you cannot ship it in this, and just make it part of the contract and just say, here are shipping guides. And you must follow these if you're shipping our product.
Right.
Because it's like, man, if you get a carded figure and you're like, because I love to keep, you see, I got tons of carded figures. This whole, so this, not enough light. Let's see if that'll work. Maybe. No, probably not. But that's all like Spidey retro carded figures up there, because I love to keep them and then display them. But like I've gotten some that have just shown up and they're dead. And it's so disappointing because the whole point is to display them in card.
Right. And, that's one of the things, like, companies like Hasbro say, part of the appeal of the product and part of the product itself, like, especially when you're dealing with like, these commemorative Lucasfilm 50th or the vintage collection, part of the product is the packaging itself. And if you're not able to get that to the consumer in an acceptable condition, then, it's just a fail right out the gate. So, I've talked to other collectors too, what's an ideal option? I mean, I think, like you said, it's as simple as saying, hey, Walmart, we'll give you this exclusive, but, understand that, this packaging is part of the appeal. It's part of the product. It needs to arrive to the consumer in acceptable condition. I mean, if they can't do that, then I think, like they did with the vintage figures back in 2004, 2005, 6, 7, is, they would ship them in a clamshell. I mean, that's not ideal.
No.
I mean, I know a lot of people, I use like custom, like third-party clamshells for my figures. But if that's what it takes, even if you need to pay a couple of dollars more, and it's not necessarily fair to people that don't care about packaging, but
right.
There needs to be an option, or there needs to be some sort of a system in place to where, when you place that pre-order, you're confident that the item you receive isn't going to be, origamied into some weird shape.
Well, and they could, I mean, you know, it just wouldn't be hard to do it the right way. Yeah, I mean, it just
Right.
to enforce it and do it the
That's
right way.
that's the thing. It's not that hard. It just takes a box with some bubbles, and sometimes we get
Yeah.
that, and the card will still arrive, damaged or folded, and I don't
Like
know really what to
if
say
it's
to that.
properly packed but got drilled in shipping, like that can happen. You know, like that's
Yeah,
one of those where that's kind of the luck of the draw. But when it's just put in a bubble envelope and shipped, I mean, that's
yeah,
just
that's
it's
asking
so
for
frustrating. But that's where I
trouble.
do appreciate like a big bad toy store.
Yeah,
GameStop's is
GameStop.
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I get from them is packed properly. It's bubble wrapped. So I try to order from them as much as I can now. They've become my go-to
Absolutely.
spot.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I got to pay shipping on there." It's like, yeah, if you don't spend over like $35 or something,
It's
you're fine.
$35. It's two figures. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's not a
yeah,
lot. It's not a lot, but
yeah,
even if you order one figure, I mean, that's not too much of an upcharge to ensure you're going to get something in
no.
mint condition. And they are doing a really good job. I have a lot of issues with GameStop, but the way they ship products is not one of them. They're doing a really good job.
Hmm. Well, and I mean, if you just put two in the cart and go return one, if you had to, if it's that
Yeah,
much of an issue. But normally, like if you're ordering from GameStop, it's multiple figures. It's pretty rare that like it's one that's up. Although, however, they'll release like an exclusive sometimes, like a Gaming Greats exclusive. But those I just order two because I'll keep one in box and then I open the other.
right. Yeah, no, and I do that with a few select like 6-inch. Like for vintage collection, I do one to open, one to save in box. But for Black Series, like if it's like a special thing, like some of these Lucasfilm 50th, then in some cases I
Hmm.
will order like extras to keep in the boxes. Um, but yeah, no, so yeah, absolutely. GameStop, keep doing what you're doing because it's good
Yeah, we
stuff.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's a classic action figures. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Well, better late than never. We're glad you're here now. David, gotta go. Thanks for the stream. Victorian dude was awesome. Ciao to you all. Love the chat. Make sure you like and smash that button. Yes, smash that like button. Uh, thank you very
See you,
much.
buddy.
Red Wagon. Hey everyone, I found the new Black Series later this morning in Massachusetts. Haven't
Nice.
opened them up yet, but I think Zero's is to be my favorite from the wave. That's awesome. I haven't seen that wave either myself,
Congrats.
but yeah, congrats. That's a huge get right now.
That means I'll have mine in like 2 months. If people are starting to find them now.
I know, right? Oh man. Adrian, hey guys, love your optimism. Review when you get your stuff. You do you. Some of those bigger channels aren't as personable. True fact. Well, thank you. We definitely appreciate that. Out of the basement, that's totally how I look at it as well. We'll never pay this premium prices just for an early review. It gets to a point where people will watch the channel for you rather than some early review. I think so too. I mean, I think a lot of it is, who you are. If you're passionate about it, I think it'll definitely come through in your videos. If you're excited and
Hmm.
you like what you're doing, then I think that's definitely obvious. So I
Yep.
do agree with that.
It's all about share
Uh,
and joy.
yeah, Jason, good to see you. Thank you for joining the chat. We deliver. So happy to see you guys. Thank you. Happy to see you as well. Um, classic action figures, definitely not easy being a GI Joe classified fan. Yeah, I hear a lot of
Doesn't sound
like
like it.
if you want to be an angry collector, go collect GI Joe classified because more than any other toy line right now, I think I hear it from that sector of collectors is that GI Joe
Yes.
collectors are just have it the worst. And it's hard for everybody that's a Hasbro collector, but I think definitely from what I've seen online, I would agree that they have it really rough right now.
It doesn't really make you want to cross over and add, you know what I mean? Like I have no desire to add G.I. Joe to the repertoire.
Me neither.
But I collected them as a kid and I loved them,
Yeah, me neither.
Mhm.
Classic stores. I found 2 Clone Wars Obi-Wans at
Nice.
Target in the afternoon. Surprisingly, wow, that's cool. I have heard that. I think it was from Jason at Yak Face. He said that they're starting to ship more of them to Target. So if you missed out on any of those 4 Clone Wars figures, then maybe now's a good time to go and see if you can find them.
Wow, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. That's a great wave too. All those
It
figures
is.
are awesome. The only one in those Obi-Wan Clone Wars figure sets I could find was Hawk. Clones are so must-have. It's insane trying to
Mhm.
find them. Yeah, hopefully now though, that they're shipping more, it won't be quite as bad. Out of the basement, I think another problem is places like Walmart, Amazon overworking their employees, giving them insane time crunches and such. Leadership probably has a lot to do with it. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you know, you have to keep in mind, you know, when it comes from one of these like global corporations like, you know, Walmart, Amazon, Target, you know, these people are being assessed on how many items they can ship out per hour. You know, they have stats that they have to do. So it's not always convenient, or it doesn't always make sense to grab like a $12 figure and, you know, like bubble wrap it and ship it out. I mean, that's ideal for us as collectors. Not everybody knows that. I do think that with proper training and that with, you know, Hasbro stepping in and saying, hey, you know, we have a certain standard that we have for this product and we need to see it shipped out in this manner. I think that could go a long way. So I do hope that, you know, we see that at some point.
Me too.
Absolutely. As Arnista, I love you both. Keep up the great work. Hard to be a happy collector shopping retail. Absolutely. And Red Wagon, I joined late, so maybe you discussed this already, but what do you guys think of the Black Series SDC Cantina set? So yes, we did discuss the reveals from Hasbro today that they put out on Hasbro Pulse. So once this live stream is wrapped, you'll be able to go back and watch it from the beginning. We did talk about that pretty early on, I think 15 minutes into the show or so. So you'll definitely hear our thoughts.
After we were heckled.
Yes. But
we're Star Wars.
Absolutely. Been a short. We're excited for that stuff. So
yeah, that's a pre-order for me for sure.
And Clueless has just got
tech nice. You got tech.
Yeah, really digging him, but they dropped the ball by not giving him his goggles. Yeah, that is frustrating. Poor Tech. If only they'd given him those goggles, he could have been a perfect release. But yeah. But anyway, Steve, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for coming on here. You know, we'll have to do this again in the future. You know, great talking. Mine's now empty, but talking drinks and what else? What else?
Killed us.
Yeah, there you go. What else did we talk? We talked having COVID-19 and what that was like for both of us. We talked Black Series reveals, Marvel Legends. We talked Loki. Distribution, packaging. You know, we hit a lot of things. So
Solo.
Yeah, how awesome of a film Solo is.
So it was very broad and all encompassing. It was great.
Absolutely. So, you know, really appreciate you being here and talking this stuff with me. And also to everybody in the chat, thank you for everybody who's tuned in and dropped us a comment. Be sure to stomp on that like button. Let us know, you know, if you're watching this later, you know, what your favorite aspect of this conversation was down in the comments. And, you know, again, be sure to follow Adu's Nerdery on YouTube and social media. Links are down in the description. Steve, before we depart, any final thoughts that you want to share? Anything else you want to throw out there?
No, just thank you so much for having me on. Like, it's just, again, this is just cool to be a part of this. It's fun to talk about this stuff on a Friday night and have a beverage. And I really appreciate being included. So thank you so much. And if you guys are around tomorrow, we do have the Black Series draft versus the Peg Warmers on 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard. So it is, it's on rotating. It'll be on my channel this week, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then if you're up late and you're a night owl like me, we're going to build a Rebels display right over here at 11 p.m. Eastern. So the night owls will get together and do that and maybe make a couple offers to the toy gods. We'll see.
Nice. Love it. Yeah, definitely tune into that. Exciting stuff. Steve, thanks again for tuning in or for being part of this. And, you know, it's been a blast talking toys. And yeah, let's do this again in the future. And yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark just about. So this is definitely the longest Cantina Cocktail Hour we've done so far. So
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
No, it's good. I'm happy about that. That's actually really good. That means that we had a good conversation and yeah, awesome stuff. So thanks everybody. May the force be with you. This is the way, all that stuff. You know, we love having you here. And looking forward to seeing everybody next week. So there is a Hasbro Q&A going on next week. So I will have some guests reacting to that next Friday in our Cantina Cocktail Hour. So definitely be tuned into that. And I will post the Q&A once that happens. I think it's on Wednesday that we're doing that. So I'll do a video for that, and you know, as per usual. But thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Steve, and we'll see you again soon. Have a good night, everybody.